Welcome to Comics League Dark. I'm Jared. I'm here with JJheat Blaze. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing all right, man. Just kind of a busy week, but hey, we're here together. So
We've all had that, dude. So today, we have a couple of different topics in line. So we got the Batman 2 villain seemingly being revealed. James Gunn gave a little more information on Superman, and can Marvel regain the momentum that they? No, well, can Marvel capitalize on the momentum they gained from Deadpool Wolverine? So, what do you want to talk about first?
we'll go ahead and get the Batman out the way because, contrary to popular belief, it is a good business move to keep Matt Reeves, the Batman, grounded. Yes, I know we've had roughly 20, if not 25 years of grounded Batman films. But even with that, if the DCU gets off the ground, you'll have that more fantastical element anyway as an alternative.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more when we get to the Superman topic. But yeah, the thing that I particularly like is when Reeve is talking about how part 2 is going to deal a little bit more with the corruption side of Gotham, like go into and find like a deeper corruption. And when I hear the words deeper corruption when it comes to to the thing, I'm like, oh, I see. We're going Court of Owls. And what's up, TJ? What's up, Tevia?
Court of Owls, you probably could pull it off, but you would need a lot of build up.
Not really, because this one already, because the first one already started off introducing the idea that Gotham is corrupt. So what you do is you just make this movie expanding on that.
Wait, were you considering the full trilogy or just the first Court of Owls story?
Okay, in terms of like the court, I would say this: if the Batman 2 is adapting Court, I would just do the Court of Owls trade, save the other one because I know there's two of them. Save the other one for later.
Yeah, because the full Court of Owls saga is like 3 separate storylines. 4 if we're counting. Yeah, not the first trade, like Court of Owls, Night of the Owls, the whole Endgame, and We Are Robin, and then the Parliament of Owls, which carried over in Agent Grace and Rebirth.
Oh, okay. But yeah, just adapt the first one because the first one is just. But don't you? No, you don't. Okay, Tevia. All I'm saying is adapt portions of it, the basic story, because the basic story of Court of Owls is Batman finds some some group that has supposedly run Gotham for centuries, and he didn't know about it. That's all you need. That is literally all you need.
And I will give you this, Tevia. The way the Court of Owls saga is structured from all those storylines, Robin War technically is an interlude. I will give you that in the grand scheme of things. But DCYOU, the whole thing was a mess to begin with. So read Robin War. Read Robin War. Don't read Robin War. You still get the overall story of Court of Owls either way. Read it, cool. If not, it's not homework. So
yeah, exactly. So, and in this, now I thought they were going to save the court. Let's put it this way: if it comes to pass that they are doing Court of Owls for part 2, it's interesting because I thought they were going to do Court of Owls for part 3 and then like have Hush be the villain for part 2.
That would be a better fit. Sure, it's a tight squeeze, but if you're just doing the first story, the first conflict of Court of Owls, you can do that in one movie if it's just that one.
Mm-hmm. And that is an interesting way to do it. Again, I still think because those movies are all about just the corruption of Gotham. There's only one group that properly does corruption and stuff. So, and yes, Tevia, I agree with you. I would have the Hush be it. Hopefully, they drop the brother part in the Court of Owls. Wait, what brother part?
I know what he's talking about, where Malcolm was the supposed brother of Bruce.
Oh, yeah, you mean that stupid thing that Scott Snyder tried to retcon in, but then it was stupid? Yeah. Since they teased Hush in the first film, but he was apparently killed by Falcone, maybe Thomas Elliott will be a Talon. I don't. Was it? Oh, yeah, he was killed. Yeah, yes. They could do that. They could do that.
Personally, I would prefer Court of Owls be used for Nightwing because Say what you will about the restructuring for the New 52, but you could tell at least the initial template for Court of Owls was supposed to be focused on Nightwing. But when you got into the New 52 proper, it was the story was restructured for Bruce as the protagonist, if that makes sense.
Well, they even like implied in the Court of Owls that Grayson was going to be captured and turned into a Talon, but Bruce interfered.
I believe the full story is that John. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm in the comments, but I'm pretty sure the full story was that John Grayson came from a decent family, or at least one connected to the court, but he cut ties to be with Mary on the condition that his firstborn son would be roped into the court in his stead when he came of age. Then Tony Zuko tried to leverage protection money from Haley Circus, sabotage their act, and then Bruce would go on to adopt Grayson shortly thereafter. I believe that's the full story if I remember it right, but I could be missing details.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I agree with Tevia. I think they could have just done Hush and do the Court of Owls for part 3. I mean, they could still do that. What they could literally do is just do Hush like they thought that, like Falcone thought that he killed Thomas Elliot, but he really didn't. You get Hush, and then it turns out Hush is manipulated by the court this entire time. That sets up movie 3. So they could still do that.
Still be improvement from the Decamu version, so I'll give them that much.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Dave says Haley Circus was supposed to train Dick Grayson to be a Talon. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like the idea that like Grayson was always being trained to be a Talon. It's just when his parents were killed before the court could take him in, Bruce adopted him.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of how that worked. And you know what? It really works for this version of Batman. Now, the thing is, so Reeves also brought up and said, yeah, we're never going to necessarily go too far away from some of the fantastical elements of Batman, but we're going to try and stay very grounded. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up, you think we're going to get all the Dionysiums, Batmantiums,
Probably not. Probably not. I believe that was done. I believe that was done because on the off chance, now granted, this is commercially speaking an off chance, though very likely because it's Warner Brothers, that Superman Legacy underperforms and they have to backtrack. Like, okay, how do we salvage this? We have to restructure this. We got new investors. We're probably looking at a buyout. Batman 2 did pretty well, just rebranded into that. That way we're not losing stock. So on the off chance the Batman, with Matt Reeves gets integrated into a restructuring of the DCU if Superman Legacy underperforms, that's a good contingency plan rather than just scrapping it all together because WB definitely needs the momentum, especially if they're going to look for another buyout.
And speaking of WB, we got a buddy in the chat, so let me find his clip or a good clip that properly like summarizes his thing. Here we go.
Okay.
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
And Taladia is here. What's up, brother?
How can I say I've had a terrible night?
I can tell. I'm glad you're here, brother. So what do you think of Reeves most likely teasing the court for part 2?
I think that's a good choice. I think it's a really good choice that he's going for the Court of Owls. It's more grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because there's several reasons behind it. I think it was because he's not going to go for the fantastic stuff. I mean, he's literally said it's a Batman crime epic saga. That's what his film.
And the thing is, they don't have to go full on into the Talons are actually like people from hundreds of years ago that were preserved in liquid or frozen. I don't think they really have to go that far.
Rejuvenated zombies.
Wait, they don't need to go down the route of the Gotham Knights video game route.
Which is pretty much that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, though, I am looking, if they do the court, even if it's just one movie, I hope they do, because I really want to see the scene of Pattinson going through the maze, because I think that would be really cool.
I had a good inkling idea what Matt Reeves might do.
What?
Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Yeah.
Being a part of the Court of Owls. I said this on the Under Two Capes episode yesterday.
You know what? That would actually be a very interesting way to do this. Although, what you could do, you don't necessarily have to make it that the Court of Owls, that Thomas and Martha Wayne were active members of the court. You can make it where they were approached by the court to join. They said no, and to eliminate loose ends, the court had the Waynes killed.
You know what? That would make sense, considering the fact that in the first film, like, they got killed. Like, obviously, Martha was in the Arkham Asylum, right?
Mhm.
If you remember in the
Right.
first film.
Yeah.
So it would make sense because of all the pressure she's under and from the court and everything, and making her go bonkers is basically because of the courts. If you
Mhm.
know what I mean. Because
we get what you mean.
By the way, Dave says, I'm still skeptical Batman 2 will even happen. Here's the thing, Dave. I think it will. Here's why. JJheat, what do you think the internet backlash would be if James Gunn canceled the Reeves verse?
Oh, they'd be pissed. I mean, there'd be media uproar up Creek Mountain. I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible, but people will
appreciate
riot
that,
on
brother.
social media.
now I'll say this, right? They're not gonna cancel the Matt Reeves verse anyway.
No, it's too much money.
No,
It's
but what
too-
I mean is that because what they would do, I think, is like quietly cancel it. What I mean by that is like do like Penguin, but then never explore it again.
You mean shelve
Oh,
it?
Shelve it.
Shelve it.
But for all intents and purposes, it's canceled.
Nah,
It would.
it's too much.
I see where you're coming from, Jared, but
It's too much. big of a
business wise,
risk,
it'd be stupid. Business wise,
and it's too
Mhm.
much. It's too much big of a risk for Warner Brothers to be like, okay, we're gonna shelve the Batman universe and
Yeah.
focus on to focus on the DCU, because they know that if they shelve it, you've got fans who'll be like, why you do that? You'll have fans boycotting the DCU then.
Yeah,
lot
you're
more.
definitely gonna get, and the thing is, like, you'll get that even if they try and say, yeah, we're just gonna fold it into the DCU, because here's the thing, that universe doesn't work in a world with Superman. And plus, here's the thing: if that world is canon, with the news we got about Superman, it doesn't work, and we'll get into that when we get to Superman. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think though, I don't think the Batman's gonna get shelved at all. I think what they're gonna
Mhm.
do, they'll do series though. I think what would be really interesting though, if they did the Court of Owls series, right?
That would have been cool. Or a Catwoman series.
I mean, you could
it
do
has
a Catwoman.
potential, but
Or, hey, JJheat, I got a fantastic idea. You ready? $1 billion for sure. Hey, what's up, DC Question? It's Batcat and the showrunner's Tom King.
No,
no.
get out of your own
God,
show.
no.
Get out of your own show.
You can't kick me from my own show, boys.
Anyway,
Okay, all right. I'm
Go
not
on,
the
JD.
biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of shipping. I've never been. I have said that multiple times.
No,
But I
I'm
will
saying Batman, Catwoman, that book. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't get me. You just want to see Mask of the Fan. You just want to see Phantasm in live action, don't you?
No, I just want to see Batman and more Batman and Catwoman, because that was a good Batman and Catwoman. Now, TJ asked, how did they do it in the animated film, The Court of Owls? Not good.
now,
Okay,
They kind of shoehorned it.
Yeah.
In the Dikamu, they did Dikamu, they didn't do it really well because they shoot it in with Batman versus Robin, right? But the way I see it is, if they do the Batman 2, they do the Court of Owls, but what if they do the what's it called, a prequel series, right, to the Batman 2, where they introduce the Court of Owls, right? That way people can understand, because you gotta remember, this has got to cater to the general audience, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
got
true.
it. It is a prequel series, but it's a prequel to the Batman 1, it turns out. So the court wanted to test Batman, and because remember, Batman's still new. So
Mhm.
they want to see what's this guy capable of. So they are behind the Riddler in the Batman 1. They orchestrate the Riddler to test Batman as a hero and as a detective and all that stuff and see, can we maybe recruit him?
That would work. And
by the
way,
way, TJ, if we get Ra's al Ghul, which we could, don't necessarily do the immortality, but can we change some details from the Morrison story, like not make Talia evil? That would be great. I would love that.
Here's another thing too. It'd be too much compared to Batman Begins.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although, here's the thing. They can get an improvement over Batman Begins if they actually cast a Middle Eastern.
I saw something about a Middle Eastern actor, the one who was going to play the one actor who was going to play in the Superman movie. He would actually fit the bill for Ra's al Ghul.
He would actually.
That's
great. That's a really good point. Or Mads Mikkelsen would be the best Ra's al Ghul, I think.
But you need someone that with that
gravitas.
He has to have a presence to him, because Ra's al Ghul is the type of dude that when he enters the room, everyone else starts shaking.
He needs that Persian like background type of thing, you know, in the Middle East.
You know who Mads Mikkelsen could also play as a DC character? Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage works.
Not bad.
There you go. Because he has that kind of he's played an immortal character before. Go ahead, Taladia.
But I would say this: don't put him in the Batman universe. Put him in the DCU. Why? I say that.
Well, here's the thing. It's pretty much confirmed they're gonna do it, because the minute Gunn said that like Batman is up to Damian in terms of Robin in the DCU, Ra's al Ghul is. I would be shocked if Ra's and or Talia does not show up. And by the way, yes, I say Ra's. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it, because they say it both in the comics and movies. It was Ra's. I had to take a on that.
So yeah,
go ahead, Talia.
I think he'd be more fitting in the DCU than in the Batman crime saga, because Vandal Savage is a Justice League villain, right? So
Plus,
so if they did the what's that film called, Jared? That the one with
Justice League Doom.
Yeah, if they did a live action version of that, just imagine, right? Mads Mikkelsen
could do that. And you know what's kind of interesting? So, what about the guy who was Oppenheimer? Can he be? No, I cannot see.
Not Vandal Savage.
Cillian Murphy playing. I hear he would play a good Scarecrow, though. I don't know what you guys think about that. But
no, he won't play Scarecrow.
I agree with you, Taladia, particularly with like Ra's and or Vandal, because here's the thing. Then you can definitely embrace the immortality and the Lazarus pit of these characters, because as we'll talk about later, the Superman, the DCU Earth is a world where superheroes and all these fantastical elements have existed for like a millennia. I could see us even getting a Vandal Savage series, like a mini-series about him or Ra's al Ghul.
Yes. JJheat, I want to hear your thoughts.
A League of Shadows mini-series would actually be really cool.
I'm really interested to hear JJheat's thoughts on the Vandal Savage thing.
Vandal Savage, again, you can do immortality characters in a grounded setting. You just have to do it in a way to where it doesn't come across as overpowered, or the writers wrote themselves into a corner. Gotham, the live action Gotham series, which might as well be a Gordon or a Gotham Central show, what have you, they did a pretty decent balance with Rage being a dark influence on Bruce and tempting him to where Bruce was growing more into what he would largely become as Batman by the time he leaves Gotham towards the end. But again, that wasn't Rage at his true potential character-wise. It's a good first step. You're limiting, but he's ultimately limited by the setting, is what I'm trying to say. And
that's why I don't think it would work well in the Reeves verse, because because he's been very clear that yes, this will embrace some of the fantastical elements, but he still wants it to be a very grounded Earth, and having a character that like is immortal because of a magic space rock just undermines that. By the way, what about? I always said that. We could also have the Court of Owls be connected to that. Yeah, exactly. Well, in the DCU they could do that, but not in the Reeves verse.
In the DCU they could do it, but not in the Matt
too
Reeves
fantastical.
Mm-hmm. It's too much complications there, because in the Matt Reeves verse, you only are focusing on the Batman centered Batman element side of it. So you're not focusing on like Superman or Wonder Woman or any of those characters. You're focusing on the Batman side of it. So if you
Yeah,
think
and
about it,
at least Vandal Savage, he's not he's a Justice League antagonist. He's not like just a Batman thing. But like Dave says, a grounded setting is only as grounded as the story they're telling. I believe Pattinson's Batman could work alongside Superman if that's what the story calls for. Yeah, but the thing is,
Execution.
Well, let me put it this way: if DC wants to piss off Matt Reeves and make him leave, yeah, they're gonna factor that in. Which, let me put it this way: if the Reeves verse is successful, but the Gunn verse struggles, I do think they'll try and force it in. But the thing is like Matt Reeves was very clear that he wants his stuff to be separate. Now, again, yes, WB could override him. But I still say WB does not want to keep losing all their big creators for DC because they lost Nolan. They sure as hell lost Snyder. Well, he's obviously working his way back. But do you really want to lose Matt Reeves
when you're already $9 trillion in debt? Like,
actually, JJheat. First off, that was essentially they were like down. They had to like round lower the value of their company, and it wasn't 9 trillion. It was $9 billion.
billion.
Wait, I just realized something. Speaking of villains from Matt Reeves, Mr. Bloom. Who's Mr. Bloom?
And Gordon Batman from Endgame. It's basically a male Poison Ivy or Philanderer.
No, do not want that.
No.
So we need Killer Croc then. You could actually make Killer Croc work in the Reeves verse. That one you can because really Killer Croc is just a dude with a skin condition, and you could have it where like he's a dude that like has a skin condition. He files down his teeth to like embrace the monster and stuff. You could really do that. They may have already pissed off Reeves by canceling 2 of his streaming series. Yeah, because remember, and this is a point in the people that think they're gonna bring in the Reeves Batman into the DCU. They already took the remember there was supposed to be an Arkham Asylum series. They already took that and said, okay, it's a DCU series now.
And Tevia, Mr. Freeze is a fantastic fantasy character.
That one it depends on the execution. You can
I agree
somewhat you can do that. You would have to downplay it, but I don't think you could necessarily do it justice.
No, I don't think you could do it justice. I don't think in that sort of world. I think if I was Matt Reeves though, or maybe do something along the lines of something we haven't seen yet on cinematic, right? We haven't seen Clayface is what's it called? He's not a grounded character, but he'd be really cool to have. We haven't had Firefly yet.
Firefly they could definitely do. Firefly they could 110% do in this universe.
He's a pyromaniac, so it wouldn't be that hard to do. Like, come on.
Bane they're not.
Depends.
Okay. Tavia, Bane is in that sweet spot, but I don't think they were. I think they should go with villains that haven't been in Batman movies before. That's what I'm
exactly.
Gonna say. Yeah, his GCPD show was canceled, and the Arkham Asylum series was switched to DCU and then canceled altogether. Yeah, so you make a good point there, Dave. Batman versus Assassins like Arkham Origins. Yes. How about Deathstroke? But actually, Enzo, we were supposed to get that. It's called the Ben Affleck Batman movie. That's literally what it was about.
But here's what I think though. I think the whole Deathstroke thing will probably be a part of the DCU more than the Batman universe.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Especially
because you've got. Sorry, go on. You finish.
Because I could easily. Okay, say what you will. Grant Morrison's run, great run, solid masterpiece. It's good for what it is, but it is a bloated, convoluted mess.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, seriously. Like, so much so that Batman and Son, for what was essentially 3 issues, is literally the reveal, a standoff in the middle of the ocean, and then Talia and Damian getting off a Dodge after a submarine explosion.
Oh,
that is it.
And then it gets worse, because then in volume 2, you have Batman is Zur&R for like a really long time, and then it turns out Jezebel Jet was manipulating him the whole time, and then Talia brings up her Man Bat army and then takes her out, and then you get the return of Bruce Wayne / the run with Grayson and Damian, and then you have Batman Incorporated. Batman Incorporated went on for way too long.
Oh yeah, definitely. Batman Incorporated went on. It literally took up the last 2 years of the run, even with the New 52.
It gets its own omnibus in the trilogy. Yeah, go ahead, Saladia.
But I think, Jared, what I believe is that if they're gonna do someone grounded for Batman's, it wouldn't be not in the Matt Reeves universe, but in the DCU. I think it would be Deathstroke, because you could have that Damian Wayne sort of element and the Ra's al Ghul stuff, right? So remember Son of Batman film, animated film, which had Deathstroke in it?
No. Yes, Son of Batman did. Okay, sorry. I'm confusing the two movies that were about Damian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Son of Batman had Deathstroke in it, but so imagine that on a grander scale, but for the DCU. But when it comes down to Matt Reeves' universe, they still have to introduce a Robin. Now, Tony Zuko would be an ideal choice.
But he's only there for the Flying Graysons and Robin's origin. He'd be a good secondary villain or a subplot, but not strong enough to carry the whole film.
Particularly, he would be good if they wanted to bring in the court, like maybe he was manipulated by the court.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If they're gonna do the Court of Owls, bring in Dick Grayson and Tony Zuko at the same time with the Court of Owls. That would be ideal, and then people can say, okay, so we're doing the courts and we're bringing in Robin. By the time you have that, you've got yourself Batman and Robin, and you're probably like, about a year after the events of Batman 1, is it? Do you think?
Probably, I would say so.
So it makes sense, right? And I have a funny feeling. I think we're gonna get. Do you remember that kid in the first film that was at the funeral?
Yeah, the son of the cop who died in the opening scene.
He wasn't the cop. He was the son of the mayor, as a matter of fact.
Son of the mayor.
Son of the mayor. Imagine him being Dick Grayson as a plot twist.
Or like him just becoming Robin and Reeves invents a Robin character. We know in the Batman movies they're not like beyond doing that, as we saw in the Nolan movies. It was really stupid.
It was literally amalgamation of the three.
You should use your real name, Robin. Oh my god, that was cringe. That was cringe, Jared. I'm sorry.
So let's move on to another topic. Let's discuss Superman. So here's why I wanted to talk about this, because Gunn kind of did, but also we had some information from people that actually saw like the dailies of Superman. First off, they say the movie's really good. Which then again, these are the same people that said that The Flash was the best DC movie since Dark Knight, so take that with a massive grain of salt. But they also did say something pretty interesting. They said that the DCU is a world where it's the opposite of the Snyderverse. Now, people took offense to that, but what they mean is that whereas the Snyderverse was what if superheroes were in our world now, the DCU is superheroes have always existed. Like there's since practically from the beginning of time, because you have like the Creature Commandos, some of which take place during World War II. Then you have Superman. Then you have like Booster Gold is most likely going to take place in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Legion movie. And this is where I say this is where you could get like Ra's al Ghul with the Lazarus Pit. You could get Vandal Savage with the meteorite. Yeah, basically anything you could think of that would be DC, like that would be too messical for the Reeves verse, I think you could put here. Now, the only thing I don't like, and Britt and I were talking about this earlier, is that this also means that it's likely they're going to make Wonder Woman thousands of years old again, which I'm like, no. I'll save you this time. Thank you to TJ. Basically, the MCU with DC characters. The MCU doesn't... this is the part where I'm going to disagree with TJ, because the MCU is not necessarily superheroes have always existed in the world. In terms of tone, yes, it is very MCU. In terms of suit design, yes. But in terms of like the existence of superheroes changing world history, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. But what do you guys think? I'll start with Taladia.
I think the whole aesthetic of it being different or disconnecting from the DCEU, I think that's a good
Which we
thing.
knew it, so because it's a reboot.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing they're disconnecting from that aspect, which is, I'm glad they're doing that. But at the same time, I'm like thinking, okay, so you've established that you've got heroes have been established for many, many years, right? And why haven't you, like, my thing is, why haven't you brought into Wonder Woman into the fold, or why haven't you?
Because they
See
don't
that?
prioritize Wonder Woman. But Dave brings up a good point. It doesn't sit right with me that the modern heroes have been active before Superman. Having the JSA in the past and then active for decades before Superman and the new crop will be fine. Yeah, the thing is, and this is what I said on the why Superman does not have to be like updated, because I may actually I said this on last week's episode of Legacy. Thing about Superman is that he is the inspiration. He is the example that every hero looks to. So having him not be a founding member of the Justice League, well, maybe he's a founding member of the actual league and not the Maxwell Lord sponsored league. But regardless, it doesn't. I agree with David. Doesn't really sit well with me.
Hey, dude, will you let the live stream?
Yeah. What? But anyway,
What?
JJheat, your thoughts?
As for me, okay, I'm gonna call it Justice League International until I hear otherwise from official sources. But say what you will about JLI and Maxwell Lord's sponsored team in Superman Legacy. Maybe Clark teams up with them briefly, and then they kind of scatter about like towards the end, like, hey, Maxwell Lord's doing something shady. There's something deeper going on here, a grander conspiracy, and then you could set up maybe not Infinite Crisis exactly, but elements of it where Maxwell Lord kind of undermining and trying to make heroes look bad. So there is a story, there is an arc there, but I feel like JSA would have been a better choice to lean into that rather than a de facto Justice League International roster, if that makes sense.
I have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
What if James Gunn, after the Superman film, he decides to all of a sudden introduce the Justice Society of America, and say this was the first Justice League, right?
They probably will, and then and then was saying this. He said that like then they'll make Wonder Woman's mother Hippolyta the first member of the league.
No, I was gonna say bring back Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
Okay,
You pull it off.
Even though it's like it's a reboot, so they shouldn't bring anyone back. Will you keep this live stream? Yeah,
I think that's a bot, man.
I think that's a bot.
Anyway,
yeah.
Even though it's like a reboot, I'm like, I would.
That was
like
perfect. Dr. Fate was perfect casting. Say what you will about the Black Adam film, but Dr. Fate was perfectly cast.
Yeah, I still think Black Adam was really good. So, Enzo says, sounds like Kingdom Come with a young Superman. This whole idea about it being a reverse Kingdom Come, that's not what it is, because yeah, there are younger but the younger superheroes were like causing wanton destruction. As far as we know, that's not happening in the Superman movie. So that's not in any way Kingdom Come.
Jared, should we show them the suits that was fan art?
Yeah, actually, because TJ actually tagged us in this, so we kind of have to. So let me bring it up.
And while Jared's pulling that up, first of all, say what you will about Kingdom Come being a de facto Civil War story, but with DC characters, even though it came out way before Civil War. The point of Kingdom Come was to comment on the edginess and extreme of the 90s. That's the point of Kingdom Come for the most part. Say what you will about the religious allegories. But for the most part, Kingdom Come was essentially a commentary on where comics and escalation, all these young heroes, basically everything that was going on at the time.
And by the way, you and Alex, yes, I keep all my live streams up. Unless, of course, they get taken by YouTube copyright for any reason, because that happens. But assuming nothing happens, this will be up afterwards for sure. So we have some fan art for Superman, for these Superman suits, and these were these actual concept art or just fan art, Taladia?
These were fan art, the one I sent you.
Okay, so we got this one is kind of that, except it's a little it fits Superman a little more. Then we have the actual one with the Kingdom Come S, but the more diaper looking shorts.
Yeah.
We have the one with the actual Superman S, which I actually kind of dig. Then we get the new 52 Superman that's got the collar. See this. Actually, no, it's still not new 52 because it still has the Kingdom Come S. The thing about it is that you can't just take Kingdom Come and just slap it on there, and that's what this kind of seems like.
No, but there's no trunks. There's
no trunks. I'll take that one, and it actually has the red belt from this era of DC, so that's actually not that bad. But here's the thing: all of those. Here's the advantage that all of those have over the current suit. Those fit him.
Unfortunately, James Gunn don't see that.
Yeah, someone in the film should say, "Why are you wearing underwear on the outside of your pants, weirdo?" Yeah, exactly. Someone will.
I think I have a funny feeling they're gonna update the suit after each film, right? I think he's gonna try and do a Zack Snyder basically. So every film he updates the suit.
Or you mean some people have been saying the people that are really excited for this movie have been trying to cope and saying, "Oh no, that's the suit in the beginning of the movie. He gets a better suit at the end." I'm like, first off, there's no indication of that. If that were true, then Gunn is stupid for sharing the crappy suit as like his first image because he knows we're gonna take that as the official Superman suit. So I'm like, how great would it be if he takes if the actual DCU Superman suit, if this comes across, has no trunks?
You know what? That would be a little that would be a middle finger to all those diaper wearing fans.
Oh, you know what'd be hilarious is if the hot toy for Corn Sweat Superman, the suit also does not fit the hot toy.
Oh, you can take off the underwear.
Young ass guys, what do you think? Who's gonna be the villain for the Batman 2 and 3? And it can't be anyone with real superpowers, but like, do you think Matt will just make a trilogy, or will be two? Well, it'll be a trilogy. He's already said that. And in the beginning of the stream, we kind of touched on this, but I'll catch you up on this. We basically said part 2, assuming there's 3 movies, the way we would do it at least is do Hush for movie 2, and then Court of Owls for part 3. Modified Court of Owls. Obviously, don't do like the Immortal Talons, but do like the secret society that has assassins that like take out people in Gotham. Because I feel like that would work really well with the universe. But anyway, back to Superman. Now, I do like when they say that they're going full fantastical. I like how they're making it very different from the Snyderverse, because that way it doesn't seem like they're trying to like erase the Snyderverse. All they're doing is saying, no, this is different. We're just doing something else. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think he'll have a better suit, but I have a feeling Gunn will try and lead too much into Christopher Reeve nostalgia. Here's the thing, and by the way, he did an update on that. The people that've seen the movie have brought up, and this could be just be them being concerned because it's a thing being thrown around, that it's not just a rehash of Christopher Reeve nostalgia, that it is something completely different. And I'm like, hey, Taladia and JJheat and us at Comics League, we've said this from the very beginning. If the movie comes out and it is a knockout, don't get me wrong, we'll always like Zack Snyder's movies, that's for sure. We'll never stop calling for the Snyderverse to be restored. But if James Gunn's Superman movie comes out and it's fantastic, we'll be the first to do a stream and tell you it's one of the best Superman movies ever. Probably won't be as good as Man of Steel, but it's up there. To have you asked a question, if you were in charge of Superman's world in this new DC universe, what would you do? He would be with Wonder Woman. That's the first thing. Lois would play a minimal role or like a role as an antagonist. He would have a suit that actually fits. And Taladia, it would be the new 52 suit. I would now, Taladia, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you do, I'm getting the new 52 action figure as an illustration, would you do the black S on the back of the cape or the yellow S?
If I was in James Gunn's shoes, I would do black S over yellow S, but I can see why he went with the yellow S because of nostalgia reasons. But
Yeah, I'm
maybe,
fine with that. Yeah, go ahead.
maybe have like the black inline in the S, like a
Mhm.
like that kind of incorporates the New 52 and the New 52 and the Rebirth logo at the back. Can you imagine?
I think you could definitely do that.
I think it was in one of the comics. I think it was remember the Public Enemy design where in the back of the logo in one of the comics where he was with Kingdom Come Superman, it was like different. You had different logos on the shield, on the Superman emblem. It wasn't red and yellow. It was red and black.
Mhm.
Right? You could do
No.
something
I
like
wouldn't
that.
use I wouldn't use the Kingdom Come logo. Period. I would not.
No. You're not understanding. So it's not the Kingdom Come logo on the shield, but it was the normal Superman shield, but with red and black, right?
Oh, yeah,
But on the
I know what you're talking about.
but
Yeah, you
and
could do that.
on the back though, it'd be black and yellow.
Mm-hmm. And young ass guys, how much faith do you have in Matt Reeves going forward with the Batman movies? He did a great job with part one, but I'm either 50-50. I think the Penguin will be an indicator of how good the others are going to be. Granted, it's a different character and stuff, but if the Penguin is good, you know what? I still have. Matt Reeves has done nothing to shake my faith in his Batman saga.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really fun. The shield they're using in Action Comics right now, kind of. And what's cool about that logo? Actually, I wouldn't use that yet. I would stick with the classic Superman S logo. Here's why. Do you know where that black comes from, Taladia?
From Krypton?
No. There's a storyline called Our World's at War, where this unstoppable beast attacks Earth and Superman has to lead a war against it. Anyway, a lot of people die. As a memorial, he wears like an S that has the black on the inside, like you're describing. So what you could do, have him with the classic S, then do an Our Worlds at War movie, which would be awesome, and then you do the black S.
That would work, right? In the context, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, on the back of the cape, though, you could have it like black and yellow, right? You could have like a black, background and a yellow like S type of thing outline.
100%, you could definitely do that, and then that's fine. But the last thing I would do is like have Superman villains in the movies that aren't like the ones you would think. Like have Parasite be a villain. By the way, so I'll go to JJheat next. How would you handle Superman if you were in charge of the movies?
If it were up to me, I let everything be a slow burn. I would not try to ride into Christopher Reeve's nostalgia. Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot, because there's still going to be a generational gap regardless. Don't really okay. First of all, I would definitely have Clark and Diana team up in Wonder Woman and Superman 2. That's what I would do first and foremost.
Of course you would.
But more importantly, I would focus more on the action and the intrigue of Superman being still not only larger than life, but he doesn't look down on anyone. He always tries to try to inspire and better everyone around him. Actually build up the novelty and legacy of Superman, and we could be better. We can always be better, rather than just a guy with natural alien abilities who could punch somebody really strong in the face. I'd go for a more thematical approach. But hey, I don't have $5
You don't have the
billion.
authority power.
No, I mean, you could definitely do that, and you could take what worked from the Reeves movies and take what worked from the Snyder movies and then just go with that, and that would actually work really well, I think. And Tavia, yes, we are going to. I don't know. I have to talk to the guys, and we'll talk about this off stream. But yeah, I'll definitely be seeing the Christopher Reeve documentary, but I'm not sure if we're gonna review it on the channel. Maybe we'll do a segment for CLD about it, but we'll see about that. But so let's continue on to our next topic, and this was a JJheat suggestion. Can
Okay.
Marvel take advantage of the positive momentum they got for Deadpool Wolverine? Now, JJheat, you want to start us off?
Sure. Now, Deadpool and Wolverine is the most momentum and hype the MCU's really gotten in a hot minute, because just about every Disney Plus show was a flop. The Marvels, flop. Scarlet Witch. Well, it was flop. Let's be honest, that was bad. Multiverse of Madness, flop. Echo. Do I even need to say more at this point?
No, because you know what? Marvel has had really bad movies in the last 5 years. I'd say it's been stinker after stinker after stinker, if you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
it's like what they need is a big movie now to kind of regain the fans' trust and regain the fans. Say, look, hey, this film is brilliant, but
I
Which
agree.
you had with Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, I'm not gonna say Black Panther 2 flopped. You could just tell it was a rewrite due to the previous actor's pass, Chadwick Boseman's passing. Excuse me, it took me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And they just outright shelved and retired the character, at least in the MCU, out of respect for the actor. And Chadwick Boseman was a great actor. I'm not going to take that away from him.
He killed it.
But don't deprive a character or a fictional character who's already been immortalized in more ways than one, just so you could pay respect to an iconic actor. If you want to if you want to have them end their story in relation to that property, that adaptation, fine. But don't shelve the character outright because you overly attached him to the actor.
mhm.
Exactly. How about you, Taladia? Do you think Marvel can take advantage of that?
I agree with Jay Heat with what he's saying. Like if you're gonna don't shelve the character at all. If you're not gonna shelve the character, recast him. In my opinion, I think in terms of Black Panther, because you could still gain something from it. Because Black Panther is still a prominent character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could bring in, let me see, um, Donald Glover, right, to play Black Panther, right,
Mm-hmm.
to replace Chadwick Boseman, and that'd be really interesting to do. I mean, um, so it would be ideal if they did that, right? If they bring in another black American actor to come in and play the role of Black Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
and I feel that that would be ideal for them, and that would gain people's trust by saying, "Look, hey, we respect Chadwick Boseman's interpretation of Black Panther, but here's another actor that is going to come in, and you know how Don Cheadle took over from Terry Howard or whatever his name
Mm-hmm.
was from Iron Man 2. So that's what I think they should do for the next Black Panther film and the next Avengers film or whatever, right? That's what they need to do.
I see where
Um,
you're coming from.
yeah, because if they continue on this trend where they say, oh well, the Chadwick what's it called, T'Challa's kid is a teenager by the time Avengers Secret what's it called, Avengers Doomsdays come out. It's like, okay, well, what who's you gonna cast for that? You're gonna struggle with that. Um, but there are these, but like Dave says, these characters are bigger than any actor. Iron Man is bigger than RDJ2, which is facts. Yeah,
True.
which is
True.
facts, which is true
And
because
even Henry said that when he was kicked out of playing Superman. He goes, "Look, ultimately the role is bigger than one actor. You guys got to go with that." The only reason why people are like really attached to Henry Cavill, myself included, is because A, he was great with the role, but also because his story was not done.
and the fact that, here's the thing, Henry Cavill's a class act, right?
Mhm.
Very class act. But I can see Henry Cavill now playing the Wolverine, right?
The Cavalry, the
The Cavalry.
Cavalry,
They'll call him the Cavalry, but like
as a
Deadpool
joke.
as a joke, right? But in the movie, he'll be the next Wolverine, I think, because yes, he's in his 40s, but remember, Hugh Jackman was in his 40s when he played the role of Wolverine back in the
Mhm.
2000s. and he was only a high school teacher, by the way, before he got the role as Wolverine. Would you believe?
Yeah,
That is true.
So-
that is something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can bring back a Black Panther that lost his universe to be the main one. Yeah, exactly. So let's transition to our usual ending, a little question and answer
I had
session.
did
Yeah,
did
go
you
ahead.
guys talk about the all in dark side?
DC All In Special. Yeah, we can talk about that right quick.
Yeah, because I didn't read the obviously the All In special hasn't come out yet, right?
No, it just had the preview.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's talk about that. I'm gonna pull up that dark side design because that is like holy mother of God. That thing is badass. So
That's
I'm
gonna
just gonna
be
pull that in.
and like I said to you, Jared, in DMs, that's gonna be that's gonna be the thumbnail for the
That's got to be an action figure. I want that as an action figure. McFarlane, get to work. Because if this is not an action figure, I'm gonna be really pissed at Todd. So apparently, this version of Darkseid cut his arm off and replaced it with an axe.
And by the way, thanks to TJ, by the way, for sending us this.
Yeah, thanks, dude. But look at that. That is such a badass form of Darkseid. We also got a little more information on like here's what the Hall of Justice maybe looks like. I like how they recreated the Dark Crisis thing.
Cover.
Oh, you know what this is? This is the museum that Booster Gold worked at before he became Booster Gold. That's why Booster's here.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, if you go to your comic book store like every like Wednesday in October, you're going to be able to get Justice League ID cards, which yeah, I'm going to go. I want one. And you can get a custom one. And yes, I'm going to have one. And then my tagline is going to be Lois Lane sucks. You know I gotta. But yeah, this actually looks really fun. I'm excited for that. And then it's also the flip book that's going to have like, by the way, this art is actually pretty cool. But it's going to have like the back of the story. By the way, look at, I like this cover a lot, but the other story is going to be about the Absolute Universe. So we'll finally figure out like the origin of the Absolute Universe.
Which I'm excited about, by the way. So me and Jared are definitely going to be covering that on my channel. So
yeah, and then in September, Britt and I are going to do the Absolute Universe episode. I know I said it was this week. I was confused. That's on me, everyone. That's on me. This week we're going to be talking about the Super Wonder, the basically Super Wonder anime Eiko. So we're going to talk about anime on the channel again. But anyway, so I think that looks actually really cool because. Yes, nice. Punish Darkseid, yes. And we're gonna find out. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's cool that the Spectre dies in this in the special.
He always dies.
And you know, here's the thing though. Why is he dying in the big events? Like he's always
because they want you to see stakes, Taladia, stakes.
I know, but it's like, isn't the Spectre supposed to be the good guy, the guy that's supposed to stay alive in the multiverse?
Well, he is supposed to be like the embodiment of God's vengeance. So I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. But
I mean, the way I've always interpreted Spectre is like he has a host. Like he still needs a physical vessel. So he may lose his. So every time Spectre quote unquote dies, he just loses that act. He just loses that body at that particular time.
Wait, I got it. Darkseid kills Jim Corrigan, the host of the Spectre, and then absorbs the Spectre.
You know what?
That's why Darkseid wears the hood. Because if you notice in the previous arc when he's fighting the Justice League, until he kills Spectre, he doesn't have the hood.
Yeah,
we're gonna have Darkseid merge with the Spectre, and then we'll finally also probably figure out what the hell Darkseid energy is that creates the Absolute Universe.
Now, Jared, I'm gonna ask you this prediction, right? Prediction for the it's not absolute, the all-in book. How high do you think the numbers would be for this?
Not at all. Not at all. Here's how I know that. According to Comic Book Stores owner and some insiders at DC, the pre-orders are abysmal.
Really? Okay.
It's because here's the thing. Like I said before in this channel, DC has burned the goodwill of their fan base for too long, and the fans are checked out on it. Which, here's the thing: if this doesn't do well, it's not going to look good for DC, particularly with like a possible sale coming on. And Zaslav, he could just say, just license out the damn comics.
If they do that, oh god, monkus.
Well, at least Tom King won't be on Wonder Woman anymore.
Well, actually, he won't be on Wonder Woman, so.
No,
Right,
he's still
after-
going to be on Wonder Woman throughout this, but
Yeah, because he's still under contract. Yeah, he's under contract until at least a year, I think.
we'll see. But I'm saying if this doesn't work out and they have to like restructure everything, I still say it's going to be kind of interesting because the Wonder Woman tie-ins for Absolute Power have sold pretty well, and they've been actually pretty good. So what I think, it would be hilarious if like his actual story like flops, so they actually decide, okay, so just don't do anything with the Solver, and they actually prematurely cancel it. License DC to McFarlane. Can you imagine McFarlane making DC comics? Hell yes.
Easily.
There's one guy that understands how to make kick-ass comics, and that's Todd. Doing number one would have doing the
speculator
number ones,
market.
yeah.
I have to say this: the collector market or speculator market will only get you so far. Marvel milked that trend to the ground throughout the majority of the 2010s.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and Enzo brings up a good point because Brevoort actually commented on this because someone asked him about the Absolute Universe and everything that DC is doing. He goes, I think it was a waste of them with their all-in initiative not doing number ones because number ones always sell well.
They do.
Always. And Tavia, just because he's doing well with Transformers does not mean he'll do well with DC. Go ahead, Taladia.
So I want to say thank you for bringing up the all-in special. Firstly, because I thought that would be an interesting topic of discussion to bring to CLD. So I want to say thank you for that.
All right. So what questions do you all have for us, and then we'll wrap up. It can be about anything we talked about today, or it could be anything that you guys really want to get our opinion on.
Dave the Impaler starts off with a hot topic: license a Batman comic to the Rippaverse so Chuck Dixon can write Batman again.
That would be hilarious. Can you imagine Eric July just buys all of DC? How would the Trinity ongoing status be confirmed? How do you feel?
Wait. That was I thought that was a one shot.
No, it's an ongoing. They're giving her own ongoing. Here, that is not going to sell well because here's why. Everyone hates Trinity.
You be lucky if I have to say this, Jay. I refuse to talk about this comic. I really refuse to talk about it. But you be lucky if Trinity does Lois and Clark numbers.
Yeah, the thing is like, and you. Yeah, you mean Coward Superman? But anyway, the thing about
that's why I don't like talking about it.
Thank you. But yeah, you're trying to. This is what DC does when they have a character that the fan base clearly hates, but they want to push. They will try and push them in everything. But I don't think that's gonna go well. I really think that it's gonna bang them on the asses. And then if the Trinity series is canceled, then I think they're going to shelve Trinity. Like, they'll put her in the Legion in the future and never reference her again. Anyway, go ahead, Taladia.
I'm going to think, right? I think that I don't think the Trinity book will do well. I think they'll shelve the character. But then 5 years down the line, or 10 years down the line, if the Absolute Universe continues and stays on its course and does really well, they will retool her. And you remember how the New 52 were going to have Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter?
They'll make her the daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and they won't call her Trinity. They'll call her something else.
Like Britt and I basically have that, and we do it a lot better. And yeah. Thank you, JJheat. What do you think of the rumored Hal Jordan being cast by Josh Brolin? Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about that. That sucks. That utterly sucks.
Terrible casting. If this is true.
Is it
JJheat? Well, So their description of like why they want Josh Brolin is because their Hal Jordan is like the more gruff, no nonsense Green Lantern, and I'm like, that ain't John. That ain't Hal.
I could argue Jon Stewart, but no, Hal Jordan is basically DC's Captain Kirk. No,
Hal Jordan is all nonsense. What are you talking about?
No,
You
but
think the absolute universe will somehow, if a miracle happens, do you think nah, I don't think it'll last 10 years.
I would
but
argue
we'll see,
5.
Tevye. We'll see, Tevye. We'll see how the numbers do with the ultimate with the absolute universe. But bring it back to the DCU and the Josh Brolin thing. If he doesn't take the role, it'd be apparently rumors are Chris Pine, Ewan McGregor.
So you could say, I really want, if Ewan McGregor is cast, can they have Hal Jordan talk about always having the high ground?
You know, if he does get cast,
Nick is gonna make that joke. Nick, I guarantee you, Nick is gonna make that joke. But in terms of like the options, I honestly gotta say, of the ones available, I prefer Chris Pine.
There was a fan cast for Chris Pine to be the Hal Jordan of the DCEU.
And Dave brings up a good point. Josh Brolin would be a good Alan Scott. Yeah, exactly.
An old Alan Scott, yes, definitely.
Yeah, and then also, if he's cast as Hal Jordan, it would be the first time that Chris Pine has played a DC character that was useful. Because he played Steve Trevor. We all know he's a useless piece of crap. But anyway.
You will never let that go.
Nope.
I know. You will never let that go. I know that.
Nope, not at all. By the way, fun fact, did you guys know that last Saturday was the 10-year anniversary of the new, actually 12-year anniversary of the new 52?
No, I did not know that. You know, we will do a special stream on that, I think, next week then.
That'd be fun. Because obviously Britt and I had to talk about it because it's CLD. It's essentially it's super unlikely. Tevye says, question: if Hal Jordan is gonna, then they're going to copy Beware My Power movie. No, they'll do Emerald Twilight. I think they would do, if they did Emerald Twilight. I think they would do it a lot better than the Tomorrowverse did.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Josh Brolin will take the role though. I really don't think he'll take it.
Because it's a commitment if you do that.
Yeah, it's too much of a commitment. And Dave, yes, Glenn Powell should be Hal Jordan, but
or at least Guy Gardner. I could see him playing Guy Gardner instead of Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion's a pretty cool guy for the most part. He can play jerk characters, but there's always a charm to his performance.
I mean, he has played the jerk character before in The Rookie.
Well, and he's also played Hal Jordan before.
In the Camu, where he got very limited lines, and most of them were Hal getting his butt.
No,
kicked.
he was also He also played Hal Jordan in practically every other DC animated movie, like Doom, like Flashpoint.
Yes. So
and in Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, that little compilation series they did.
Jared, I was gonna say, I think as well. I think Glenn Powell would be the Batman of the DCU. I think.
I have yet to see him in a really serious role before I can tell you if he could be Batman. But I don't think it would be that bad. Maybe he could play Nightwing. I think maybe he could play a Nightwing character.
Nightwing would be a better
because if they do eventually do the Grayson and Damian run as Batman and Robin, he would make a great Batman then, because then he could be a little bit more of a jokey Batman. By the way, Tevye, before you ask, the Authority movie is not going to happen.
Oh no,
yeah, definitely not.
No,
Captain Hammer. You guys remember the Captain Hammer movie?
No, I don't. I've never. I don't even know
that. That's your April Fool's, Taladia.
That's your April Fool's, bro.
I don't know that film. I've never seen it.
That's gonna make it even sweeter. Oh God!
Why are you laughing?
I'm working every week from DC. No, you're not working for DC Studios. DC Question Worldwide. I guarantee you're not.
No. Listen, JJheat, why you laugh like a evil mastermind, like from?
Because you haven't seen Captain Hammer, bro.
Oh, no.
He needs to do. JJheat, you need to do that. The evil Doctor. What's his name? The mini from the from that.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
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 So I think that's a
Need
good
to.
place to wrap it up. But so up to you guys on Comics League. Remember, tomorrow we're talking Aliens. In other words, the sequel to Alien, the one with all the Space Marines. We're going to be talking. Chris Pratt would have been a good for Gunn's Batman. Chris Pratt is going to be. No, I think he would be a better booster. But that, or he would make a good Hal Jordan. But anyway, Super Wonder Legacy. Britt and I are going to talk about Echo, which is essentially an anime. Oh, it's kind of funny. It's an anime and a manga about the daughter of two superheroes, but they explicitly call themselves Clark and Diana. And one has gauntlets, and another one has a cape and kind of a Superman suit. It's basically Superman and Wonder Woman's kid. So we're going to talk about that because she was actually the original Super Kid. So we'll talk about that. And that'll be a live stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, as usual. And in terms of gaming, I may have to. I didn't get a copyright strike for Lego Batman, but I did get because music was played. You have to like revenue share from WB.
It sucks.
So since it's not a copyright strike, I probably will just keep it going for the Lego games. But anyway, this week for that, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Odyssey, playing as Wonder Woman as usual. And UTC, we're going to talk about all the different like reboots that DC has gone on and like if they hurt the brand, if they didn't hurt the brand. We may also do that one as a live stream. We'll see how we do with that.
I like the idea.
Yeah. And then so Taladia, where can we find you and what we got coming out on your channel?
So firstly, sorry for coming late to the stream.
No, it's all good, dude.
I apologize. I've been ill for the last 7 days.
I understand.
As for what I've got coming up on my channel, you guys can check me out at Taladia Plays. On Sunday, I'm going to be doing a live reaction with Jared for Batman Cape Crusader episode 6. It's called Night Ride, and it's going to be very interesting. It's a ghostly character, so it's going to be really cool to do that. Also, and then next week is the members stream on Tuesday with myself, David, and Jared, as we're going to be talking about the latest in news from DCU, Marvel, video games, all that stuff. We'll be talking about that. And then Wednesday, Snyder Fans Read Comics, and we're going to be covering part 3 of Forever Evil. So Jared will get me the thumbnail and everything, and for that
I will. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. On Thursday is my members only panel. So if you want to join that, become a member.
Yeah.
And yes, Tavia, I will be getting Space Marine 2 momentarily.
I'm sorry, Talati.
Wasn't that yet?
I was also going to say, Mia and JJheat are going to be collabing soon as well. We're going to be talking about Dragon Balls because there was new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and
Nerd
and Dragon Ball Diamond trailer. So we'll be talking about that on JJheat's channel. So stay tuned for that.
Question: are you guys going to be talking about the movie?
The Diamond movie?
No, the Dragon Ball Z movie, the live action one.
No, we don't talk about that. we don't talk about that.
Well, did you guys know that apparently Zack Snyder was in the running to direct that movie?
You know, that could be a topic.
That could actually it would have made a decent movie then. JJheat, how about you?
As for me, as Taladia mentioned, we are planning a collab to another Blazing Shonen for Dragon Ball Daima and more Sparking Zero news leading up to the release of the game. Also, start Mass Effect Saturdays. I'll be taking a break from Mass Effect Saturdays to focus on New Direction Batman, where I do a second playthrough of the Telltale games and, apply a more visual aspect of New Direction Batman and how this will largely affect the New Direction verse. If you've seen me and Jared's collab on the 10 Years of Batman or 10 Years of New Direction verse Batman, you at least have an idea of where I'm going with this. But at least for the month of September, that's what's mostly going to replace Mass Effect Saturdays. And also the Decamo stream retrospective will finally be out this Sunday.
All right. So on that note, stay heroic, everyone. We will see you in the next stream. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zois and Max about for life.
Excelsior!